I can't imagine anybody in my audience not knowing that yesterday we got a preview of Snow White. Well, sort of, kind of, the remake anyway, and it was a teaser trailer and not something that I would say was very revealing. And of course, most of what Disney showed yesterday wasn't revealing at all because everything that they had to show the audience was pretty much undercooked. And with the exception of maybe Skeleton Crew, looked like they just hadn't quite finished up the render. Setting that all aside, I think the premise of remaking Snow White, especially by changing the story, is very difficult for audiences to accept. Wonder why I'm saying that? Well, it got quite ratioed. That's right. Yeah, massive amounts of thumbs down. And of course, less than stellar commentary. Let's take a look and react, but focus on the story first. That here we are, the live action trailer with Rachel Zegler facing off against Gal Gadot's evil queen and meeting the seven dwarfs. Well, maybe so, but it also featured a very broken mirror. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Our friends over at Variety decided to puff this up pretty big. The new Snow White, Rachel Zegler, and new evil queen Gal Gadot were both on hand at D23 to address the crowd, which they did. It's been the honor of a lifetime, Zegler said, taking on the princess role. I think any young person, any little girl, if you get to put on a Disney princess dress and be her for a day, let alone for 6 months, try again, lady. It's just been the most amazing experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all. 6 months, huh? I think it was a little longer than that. Gal, of course, followed that up with something a little bit better. It was a lot of fun to get to do something that is completely different than anything I've ever done before. Well, I would imagine, since a lot of times she's a spy or something similar that just seems to fit her abilities so very well. She continued saying, she's delicious, she's evil, she's magical. We got to sing all these different songs. It was incredible. Well, at least we're going to find out how good her singing voice is. And I don't know if anybody cared about that, but it might be one of the most interesting things that comes out of this film. And if for no other reason, to just reflect on how different this film is going to be during the 2022 D23 Expo, which was, 2 years ago at the same, roughly the same location anyway, in California. Zegler and Godot spoke to Variety on the red carpet about this adaptation's differences, which again, I don't think the audience is really excited for. When asked about the modern edge of the Snow White remake, Zegler and Godot both mentioned Zegler's Snow White will not be saved by the prince. Snow White's not going to be dreaming about true love. Well, that's a problem with modern life now, and probably the reason why, we've got all of these issues between men and women. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. Well, to heck with those men. Strong, powerful women need no men. And so it's just really an incredible story for young people everywhere to see themselves in. I don't agree. But without further ado, let's take a look at actually the trailer and react. There we go. Okay, establishing shot, not bad, of the cottage that the seven dwarves live in. Here, Disney invites you. Well, what if you don't like the invitation or what you're being invited to? Anyway, I like that. That looks the most Snow White ever, especially the staircase, which it seems like they borrowed straight from the attraction and the film. That level of detail doesn't seem to exist in a lot of places these days, specifically not in Disney films, but here we are, and here it is. Let's see what else is added. Here come the dwarves. Yep. And I'm pausing for a reason, folks, as you probably know. Disney gets all claim happy when you show something they're doing. Look at this. It's the Seven Dwarves. Very exciting. Remember when they said there wouldn't be any dwarves? Yeah, I do too. Are you excited? Whistle while you work. Which apparently she's going to sing. And the one thing I can say about Rachel Zegler is she has a good singing voice. And there you go. At least they're using the same characters that they quick rendered before they showed a first look. Remember? Remember? In 2025. Weren't we supposed to get that this year? Oh, yeah. We reshot the film. Yeah. Lots and lots of reshoots. That's why the 6 months commentary was very funny to me. Maybe you too. She's looking into the wishing well, but she's not wishing for a man or having her prince show up. No, no, no. That would be creepy and weird. There's the evil queen, who's supposed to be less attractive than Snow White. Judge for yourself. What do you think about that? I don't know. Is she less attractive than Snow? I don't know about that. Hey, look. It's the Seven Dwarves mine car ride. Sort of. Look at that picture. Not her. Not that I'm saying she's unattractive. I'm just saying Gal Gadot wins. Oh, look, almost a love story. And there wasn't going to be one. Did they have to go back and add one? It's a magic tree. Look out. Oh no. And look, a Jawa. Well, not actually. It's a deer. Look at that. Aw. At least that's not quite so undercooked. It's not perfect. And I keep pausing again because, music thing. Look at that. Snow White. Oh, womp womp. I don't know about you, but that didn't really strike me as extraordinary in any way. And I almost feel like they wasted an opportunity here for making a film that actually honored the original animation, which is how Disney kind of got its start to begin with. I mean, if it weren't for this timeless classic, there wouldn't be a lot out there. Disney may not have been successful enough to continue to exist or create the massive theme park uh, entity that they became, and the number one entertainment company for the moment out there in the world. But what's worse isn't just the incredibly pronounced ratio that, in a way, was not just embarrassing, but very telling. In looking at it, you can see you have 39,000 thumbs up and 99,000 thumbs down. And I haven't refreshed this in a while, so who knows? It could be higher than that. They released this in the middle of the night, 13 hours ago, to maybe hide it from people. That seems to make a lot of sense, in as much as, well, you didn't want this to be the first story of the day. You wanted all the shilling, which they got plenty of from Us Weekly and Variety and pretty much every other entertainment outlet was out there to puff this up along with all of the other offerings. There were 23 announcements in all yesterday, and there will be even more coming on Saturday night. Depends on when you watch this particular video, but there's a decent chance that you'll see it, somewhere close to real time and realize that Disney's announcing a lot of things that they've announced before. There's not a whole lot of new out there, and there's not a whole lot of things you hadn't heard of outside of that very strange beaver thing, which we talked about on this morning's live show, the Saturday News Update. But we need to look at some of these comments that are over here on the right, which is why this is up here. And it looks like there's no reason for the evil queen to be jealous of Snow White is the most popular at the moment, which was provided 11 hours ago with 156 replies, mind you. The second most popular one was that thumbnail looks like one of those fake trailer thumbnails that you would see all over the place. I agree with that too. I'm just going to pretend this right now, bro. I don't think she should eat that apple. Oh, predict. Excuse me, not pretend. Sorry about that. To be fair, Mirror be tripping if he ain't calling Gal for fairest of them all. Well, that's fun. Why did Disney think this was a good idea to post this at 1:20 a.m.? I think that's the biggest question of all. As I said, it's no surprise that they tried to hide this for as long as they could from the general public. The reception to the overly woke messaging in almost everything that Disney has done, up until the last two projects, has been met with this kind of growing resistance of the audience saying, you're making terrible decisions and you're not going to make money on these things. People aren't going to forget what Rachel Zegler said, especially not if the trade outlets are still quoting it. They won't forget what Gal followed up with, and they certainly aren't going to still take offense at the idea of having romantic love in your life is weird. And the fact that that might be one of the goals of your life would be weird is kind of a problem for Disney, who used to pretend to be a family company. They used to be actually a family company. No more. Now they're a messaging company, the propagandist wing for a destructive way of life. But honestly, that's neither here nor there. The question is, will this film make money? For what it cost? Probably not. It probably will end up being very much like Indiana Jones. And the only way I'm wrong is if somehow, miraculously, they Barbenheimer this thing, which I don't see as possible. But I have to ask you, what do you think of this film? What do you think of this concept? What do you think of the idea that they're adding new songs to something that's already a classic? What do you think about them shifting away from a shot-for-shot retelling of this story that probably would have been widely accepted by the audience, but unfortunately was just a little bit too non-modern audience for Disney? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.